We were trying to take over, but we didn't know what you would say.
You should. The Stars. So, you guys, what an awesome college basketball game. Just an incredible environment. It's really neat to see the community and how they supported us throughout the year. The student body has been incredible. It just keeps multiplying. I don't even know what the final attendance was, but that had to be the high for our season. 5,500. Awesome, incredible. And they got treated to a great game between two really, really good teams. And that thing came down to the wire. But this team's growing. I am so proud of them. The journey of a season, you guys, and we're right now in the eye of the storm where you're playing some really good teams and you're getting challenged and tested. And we have a resilient bunch that cares so much. And they're coachable. And so this was a really big one for many reasons. At the end of the day, we want a chance to compete for a league title. That's the ultimate goal. But this game means more than that. I think it's been 34, 35 years since TCU has beat Baylor. And this group wanted to be the one that broke the streak. It was something that we talked about. You don't hide from it. You attack stuff. And that was a challenge. And these guys are built for it. They kind of love when there's something that's a first that hasn't been done. And so this was just another one on a long list since we've arrived here of doing stuff that hasn't been done. And Baylor's a heck of a team, and they're playing really good basketball, so this was a great win.
Coach, the last couple games for you guys have had double-digit leads at various points in the game. And teams have come back and made it closer in the final couple minutes. Is that just kind of like you're talking about the growth of this team, some areas for them to grow, maybe it's the depth of this league? Just talk about kind of what's going on there a little bit.
Yeah, no question. Well, first of all, I think we've been on a streak, where there's, I say it's 5 top 25 teams in a row that we're playing. You had Utah and Oklahoma State that were both ranked, Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas State. Whether or not they're ranked or not, their talent level, the coaching, this is the really good teams. And I wish it was, that easy where you go in at halftime and the other teams don't make adjustments. But our group is growing through that. The Oklahoma State game, the game before, I will take a lot of the blame for not being able to manage the second half wisely. At the same time, we're a new group that's going through this journey together. And the way that they managed the clock and managed the end of the game today was night and day from the Oklahoma State game. And so for us to reach our full potential, we're not even close to being there yet. And there's a lot of basketball still to be played. But they want it. These kids want to be great. They want this team to be great. So this was a fun one, and this was a big one. It's a historic one, to be honest.
Also, it's another indication of how tough, like just this week in the Big 12, you guys had the tough game. K-State lost their first one and all that. Is that just an indication of how tough this league is?
Oh, no question. West Virginia, it's really hard to win on the road in college basketball, period. To go on to someone's home court and get a win, and you're seeing that. K-State goes to Colorado, and they have a great staff, and it's hard to win in Boulder. West Virginia went to Arizona, and Tucson has an unbelievable crowd and environment. And Arizona got it done on their home court. And so we went to Oklahoma State. They had an amazing environment, crowd, student section, and we didn't get it done. And so you just got to truly lock in, take it one game at a time in this league. You can't look ahead of your next opponent or you got no chance of that next game.
So going out of all the historic things this group has kind of accomplished, where does this win rank for you personally?
That's a good question. Probably, I would say top 2 or 3. I grew up watching the Big 12. I'm from Austin. So I would go, when I was literally seventh grade, go and watch Texas play Baylor. And Brittany Griner was kind of my first idol in basketball. And so just watching her dominate in the Big 12 and just, seeing Baylor, that powerhouse school and team from a very long time, right, when I was very young. Dreaming of being, here and being here and doing this for TCU. I mean, it's just really special, right? Also, Baylor, when playing Baylor last year was the game that I broke my finger, and so a lot of emotions going into this game and just excitement. But yeah, I was ready for the challenge, and it's just really cool. A lot of time to just like sit back and kind of reminisce and look where I'm at.
So if this is top 2 or 3, what are the other 2 or 3?
I mean, the season's not over yet, but
So far.
yeah, so far, I mean,
Notre Dame was historic.
yeah, Notre Dame. I'd say Elegant and her scholarship was amazing. It was such a special moment for our team, our program. Notre Dame, yeah, that was amazing, special. It was just an amazing win. We played together and had this maturity about us. But yeah, the season's not over yet, and so they're still adding to the list, and so I hope we get a lot more.
Sedona, it took you a little bit to go in this game as far as from a scoring perspective. Talk about what they were doing on defense, and just felt like it was a physical game out there.
Yeah, I mean, they were, I think, when teams scout me, right, against South Carolina as well, like, bothering me can get me sped up a lot. And so, it's really like looking over to Mark and just taking a deep breath, right? He's really good at calming me down, and the staff is here. And so, it's about, really just chilling, taking a deep breath and letting the game come to me, but trusting my teammates as well, and just adjusting, right? If they're being physical with me, I could be physical back. And so it's, my growth with my mindset in basketball is my journey right now.
Madison, Coach Collins said that you only made like 1 2-point shot in your last 5 games, and when you hit that and 1 left, that really kind of took the air out of them. As you continue to evolve as a more complete player, having those types of moments, how does that kind of help give your confidence going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just shows that I can do more than just shoot the 3. Obviously, that's what I want to do. That's where I'm most comfortable, but I feel like that's where my game is. Like, I have to grow more in my game, and this year I've got better at passing the ball and kind of just maturing in that area. So I think finishing around the rim and finishing at different levels is something that I have to work on as well. And I know teams are going to scout me that I can shoot the ball. So that's something that they're giving me, so I have to work on that so I can finish and produce for my team.
8 rebounds for you tonight as well. Just talk about that aspect, especially defensively.
Yeah, I mean, I was guarding Bella, and she crashes the boards a lot, so I have to box her out. So I think that gave me a lot more like chances to rebound because I had a really emphasis on boxing her out and make sure that she didn't get the rebound. So I think that kind of allowed me to get some more boards this game.
Mark, can you kind of talk about how this game kind of started? I mean, you guys had 6 turnovers in the first 5 minutes. Y'all had a 10-point lead. I mean, so what does that say about being able to sustain and kind of overcome your own mistakes there?
Yeah, for sure. They were very physical and got in passing lanes, made us uncomfortable, and that was our halftime talk is to just settle down, take care of the ball, and we're going to be able to score a lot of points if we do that. And this group's so skilled. It's been fun to see the different ways that teams schematically try to slow them down. But at halftime, I can't remember how many turnovers we had. 12, which is uncharacteristic, and we were up 12. And so, it's one of those things, you're feeling really good in regards to you're up 12, you did a poor job taking care of the ball, so if we settle down, we're going to hang 80 plus. And so, and credit them, Oklahoma State, the game before was a totally different defensive scheme. And so these guys are... they're so talented offensively. It takes them a little while to kind of figure out what teams are doing, but once they settle into a rhythm, it's been hard for teams to stop them.
Mark, you've talked about Agnes Aminoku being the backbone of this team, and she does all the things that don't always show up in the score sheet, but tonight she had a double-double, 12 points and 10 rebounds. Just talk about her performance.
12 points, 10 rebounds, but hit 3 monster shots in the first half to really get us going. And Agnes has not been shooting it well, but she's in the gym every night, getting in her reps. We all believe in her. We all tell her to keep shooting, and it paid off tonight. But she really got us going early on. I love that Madison, I mean, these are all little things that show up over the course of the season. For Madison to grab 8 rebounds, and while she scores 21, they're figuring out what, you can impact a game of basketball in more ways than just scoring. And all of them are figuring that out. And then obviously Sedona's just a load down there and got off to a slow start. But there's adrenaline, you guys. These are college kids in a great environment. So the first 5 minutes, it's like buckle up. You don't totally know what you're going to get to start a game, but it's from excitement and joy and enthusiasm. And so after that initial 5 minutes when we threw the ball all over the place, we settled down and got into a good rhythm.
Sedona and Madison for you guys as well. Just talk about Agnes, her performance tonight, and then what she means to you guys in the program.
Yeah, I mean, Agnes does this day in, day out at practice, so we know what she's capable of, and she comes in these games, and I mean, people don't have an answer for her. I mean, you're trying to box her out. I mean, just watch her go crash. Watch the opposing team try to box out Agnes. Like, they're like, oh my gosh. And she does that for our team. She gets us extra possessions. She just plays so hard. Like, she doesn't necessarily have the same scoring role that some of us have. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, she wants to go get us boards, and she's more than capable to knock down shots. So Agnes, I mean, she really is the backbone of this team, and she gives us a whole bunch of energy, and she plays hard, so that makes us want to play even harder for her.
Sedona, what was the momentum like going through this game, especially since we haven't had a win against Baylor in years? What was like that moment like for you when we won?
You saw me. I was, cheering. Really cool, man. It's awesome just for the past, players at TCU here and this program as a whole, right? Way before we got here. Really cool, really special. I hope that everyone that was alumni watched tonight and is proud and happy that we could do it. And this is for us, but for them too, right? I hope that they know it's a shifting of kind of a power and this dynamic in the Big 12. And so really special that we could do this. It's historic and it means a lot to me, genuinely.
The pick and roll, Sedona, is that the best player in basketball right now?
And what's unique, you got Connor has grown from a year ago where she wasn't comfortable, but now between Haley and Madison that can both play on balls with Sedona, and then you have shooters with Bigby and Agnes spread around the court. It's really, really hard to slow down and hard to guard, and it's just fun to see the growth of these guys. And there's only so many ways to guard a pick and roll. And so one of the things we have in our pregame talk before every game is let's figure out how they're going to try to defend it. And then once these guys settle down and figure that out, it's been really efficient for us.
Coach, you talk about the players evolving, but you've evolved a lot, I'm sure, over the last 18 months as well. How do you see just your growth and style of coaching changing as you get more experience in these types of games?
Yeah, it has been, and you're kind of in a survival state, to be honest. You inherit a 1-17 program, and you take the hand you're dealt. And we had an amazing group, 6 portal kids that joined us, and then you blend them with the hand you're dealt, and you don't know those kids, and so year one is just really, really hard, and it's literally it kind of feels like survival. And then each year that you get building blocks, and that you get to keep adding pieces to the core that you have, and you're trying to build this thing right, and you're trying to build it for the long term. And as a coach, you have to take it year by year, and you got to evolve with the players that you have. That could be style of play. It could be the way you communicate with them and navigate that journey. And so college athletics has turned into you gotta take it 9 months and take that group and figure that group out. And you just got to do it year after year. And so it's been challenging. It's been fun. I've loved it. I've loved the journey. And excited. Just, you guys, this team has no limit. And I think this program has no limit. What we've been able to accomplish in a year and a half is beyond anything I truly dreamed that would unfold this quickly.
Who did the scout tonight, Coach?
Oh, Mr. Lopez, Chavi. Chavi had the scout, and obviously we got to play these guys again on the very last game of the season, and so Chavi did a phenomenal job locking in. Defensively, you guys, with a really talented team, for us to hold them to 37% from the field, 30% from three, is an incredible defensive effort. To keep them off the glass, I think we out-rebounded them today by 11, and that's their calling card. They're an incredible team on the glass. So our team was locked in. Chavi had them ready to go, and we needed all of it. And you guys, I can't talk enough about the crowd, the environment, the students. We continue to need everybody keep showing out, because this team, when we're at the Schulmeyer, we haven't lost yet. We haven't lost a game this year, and so I hope they keep coming back.
Madison and Sedona, Coach was talking about, each of these games, every team's approaching things a little bit differently on defense. For you, what's kind of your message as you're going onto the court, knowing each team's going to approach you guys differently?
Yeah, I mean, we have so many, scoring threats, right? We've been saying it from the beginning of the year, but kind of like pick your poison, right? And so it's us maturing as a team, as players, but maturing as like this group of 5 together on the court, right? Reading the defense in real time and realizing what they're playing, what they're taking away, doubling where, chasing Maddie, not letting her get the ball, doubling Haley. There's been so many things that they throw at us, and so that's our journey this season, is to adjust and adapt and to read it in real time on the court. and everybody can score on our team, right? We have kids that just are amazing shooters, and so it's just reading that and finding the best play every time.
Mark, a moment ago you mentioned the kind of sprint through league play that you guys are on right now. No midweek game this week. How do you capitalize on the little bit of an extra breather before you hit the road against Iowa State and Kansas State?
The first thing you do, go recruiting so you can find other kids to replace these two. But so our staff will be gone recruiting, but these guys, this is the dog days of the year. They have been going for 8 months since June, just pouring into our team and working. And so this rest is more for their bodies and them to take a deep breath right now, because there aren't many more where you get a reset. And so this is a very valuable week that they get to have. And then we have, 2 road games in Ames and Manhattan that are going to be unbelievable environments against 2 really good teams and programs. So as coaches, it allows us also to really dive into the scouts for each one of those games and prepare. And you kind of break the season down. There's 18 league games, and I organically kind of do it by 6, 6, and 6. And so we're kind of finishing up that middle third. But this week's good. These guys have grinded. They really have. If you guys, we dropped one at Oklahoma State, but they're really good, and they're having a great year and a great crowd. And so we learned a lot. It's amazing. We had a tough film session, and these guys bounced back and had a great practice. They turned the page and were locked in for the scout, and then they came out and had a historic win. And so it's just a fun journey to be on, you guys. I'm enjoying every time I get to lace up and compete with these guys. It's awesome.
It is the midpoint in conference play. What's probably the biggest lesson you've learned at the halfway point now? That
this league's unbelievable. That you got to bring it every single game, not just from us, but watching the other teams, the other scores, and man, it's a 40-minute fight. I also learned we can play with anybody. We can win this league. And so you got to keep these kids healthy, physically and mentally. You're trying to balance that as a coach of how hard to push and also how much rest they need. And that's a delicate balance over the course of the season. And so, but we've learned a lot. And I think these guys, our team, they're ready for the second half of league. You're right. We are 9 games through. We're exactly halfway. They're ready for the challenge of the next 9. I have no question about that.
And Haley being able to hit 500 career assists, just talk about, both from player and coach perspective, what it's like to be a part of that and for her to just achieve that.
Haley's a great teammate. She can score the ball, so people have to pressure her a lot and try to find a way to stop her. So she does a great job at finding us and making us succeed in the best way possible. She gives us the ball when she knows that we're in a successful place. She's not going to give it to us in a bad position. So super excited for Haley. She's a great teammate, great person, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I feel like we're all every time Haley does something like that, right, we're all just really proud of her. She's had an interesting career, a difficult career at sometimes, and so, for her in these achievements, it's special for us, and we just lift her up. We're so proud of her, and I hope that all the TCU community sees that as well, and how hard she's worked, and how special of a player and person she is.
She broke 500 assists tonight. That's awesome. If you guys understand, the portal makes it tricky to be a point guard and to be a plug-and-play point guard is what I call it, where you're here for 9 months with a new coaching staff, with new teammates, and learn a brand new system on the fly, and to do it at an elite level is really, really hard to do, really hard. And same thing for a quarterback. And so for Haley to come here, get plugged in, change her game and play in a way that she hasn't played. She's always been used as a really dynamic scorer. And to be willing to be okay with that and want to learn that. And then at the end of the day, she's the head of the monster. You're the point guard on a team that's 20-2, top 10 in the country. So that's awesome that she did that. I think she's on track to break our single season assist record. And so that's really cool, really special that she did that. It doesn't surprise me. The kid loves the game of basketball.
Any final questions? All right, thank you.